game from what I've heard.
Are you saying that advance have cured death?
Let's see here. Boom, boom. All right.
We're still vassals, slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
Their game name?
We're only getting started. Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
Starting! Starting!
Yeah, every single one of you's a bit Jesus.
Recommended. Okay.
That's all coming up on
Hey,
tonight's
Generak.
National Nightly News.
We're playing Not for Broadcast. It's Germa. Oh.
Hi, David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. All right, mate. Dave here. Listen, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so you're going to have to run the news tonight. Now, don't worry. It's not hard, and I'm going to stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens. Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left. These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again. You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain. Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any three and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that, look up to the front again.
Take on 4 old ladies in each section. That's followed at 8 p.m. by...
Right, the tapes are loaded and we're all ready for when we get to the first ad break. That's great. Any second now, you should be getting a signal through from the studio. Stay on your toes, mate. It's election night, so all eyes are on this room. We do not want to get fired.
Award-winning movie, The Freedom...
When you get the signal, select screen 1 with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know, seafood makes me go out in pustules.
Yeah, but... Figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. It's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist, going 5, 4...
But now, it's time to join Jeremy Donaldson.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Okay,
Moving on
we're
up.
all good.
The election
Next
wing
is going to be the
that
throw to the
Netflix
news
says pretty
titles
happy.
on screen 2.
Hopeful or
There'll be a
hostile.
countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the flowered market. Top chat.
Okay.
Sports fans everywhere.
Easy enough so far.
Popular footballer Johnny Hamsleeves wins Sports Personality of the Year. And a spoonful of sugar. Megan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live to Advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic victory.
Right, button
That's all
two
coming up on
in
tonight.
3,
National Nightly News.
1, now. Lovely, mate.
Hey, look at that. Look at this timing. Oh shit, it's a raid. Hey, Fex. Hey, everyone.
Down and vanishes.
We are currently controlling the news. So far, so good.
Here it comes. Switch to screen 1. Now. Lovely,
But
mate.
first, the votes are in, and it's a decisive win for Advance.
We often get a bit of interference around this time, mate. Keep your eye on the machine at the bottom right. Use that slider that's flashing or your scroll wheel to move the wave up and down, keeping the green bit in the white bit.
But critics have accused him of a severe lack of actual policies
Easy enough.
and of being deliberately vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly.
Simple enough.
However, former Home Secretary
Right, it's
Jeffrey
going well. All you've got to do now is play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
to hear the co-leader's acceptance.
And 3, 2,
That's all coming up.
1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody. Jeremy, I need
All
you to
right,
fill
there
in
we
the
go.
gaps.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late.
Oh,
I thought I'd ask him about the election.
personally, I wouldn't try to confuse him with any big words.
That's the same policy we use with you. I thought that was our little secret.
Pink cushions. You've got a grey sofa. We've got a great sofa. In a grey, a brown, a pink, a yellow, a purple. Neil's deals are unreal.
Wicked. We made it to the first ad.
This is a great ad.
This is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multicam sequence because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting.
But anyway, hi everyone.
It's down to
What's with the
personal
blanky
taste, but
vibes?
here's 3 good
Night
rules
time?
of thumb. 1. Try and keep the shot on whoever is
These
doing the
aren't my
talking.
cards. Please tell
2.
me these aren't my
Don't
cards.
stay on the
No,
same
they're the
shot
right
for
ones,
too long.
apparently.
10 seconds at the
This
most.
is
So
nothing,
if you're
Jeremy.
on the
Let's
person
slow
who's
down.
talking,
I don't
try
know
and
if
throw
there's
in the odd
what I
reaction
say.
shot or pull out to the wide
It's
shot
a
for a bit just to
huge
keep it
day.
interesting.
It's not a
3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programs on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
We're coming back from the break. Quiet in the studio. Thank you so much. 10 seconds, everybody.
All right, here we go.
Going in 5.
How bad am I gonna screw this up?
3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later, we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance. But first,
Get
our
ready to
very
go to
own
Megan
cultural
on
reporter,
screen 4.
Megan Wolf is here with a star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, culture correspondent.
Enough.
And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to
go
the
to
shock
Blunderclatch
films.
on screen 3 when she says his
Joined
name.
today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is among
Switch
the
to 2 for the wide now.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours.
Right, now just try and
So
stay
you've
on
just
whoever's
finished
talking.
filming your latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the Wrap, that's Peter Jensen, the director. Do you know him? He's a wonderful chap. He really is.
Oh,
I've worked
Oh,
with
no.
him on several movies, all terribly successful. I said to Peter, what a wild ride this has been. And you know,
doing good. We're doing good.
I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was.
Okay, we're doing good. We're doing good.
From my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all others. A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
Oh, that is a beautiful question, Megan.
Doing good. We're doing good, I think. TV nerd doesn't even know how to cut properly. Hey, shush.
I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed. And often, that's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding, giving, suffering for one's audience. I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire, the little people. But most of all, I think
What? What did I do wrong?
Positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again.
Sorry, I said fuck.
Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
Medicated, which opens next week.
Right, they've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look.
Cool, looks like Blunderclatch is losing it in the studio, but we ain't got time for that.
All right,
There's more
sweet.
interference coming. It's a bit trickier this time, mate. Use that little flashing joystick to the left of the knob, or hold down your middle mouse or Alt on your keyboard, and as the frequency changes, match it to the white bit by dragging right.
You think I don't know that?
Now we're going to squash the frequency back by dragging left.
Nolans, we mustn't. Think of Carol.
That's Dr. Lance to you, Miss Flanagan.
Jubbly, mate.
For you, baby.
Next, we're going to change the amplitude. Same as last time. Little joystick or hold Alt or middle mouse, and this time push upwards. Upwards, mate. Upwards.
But I didn't listen.
Doctor,
I'm drowning, Lance, you said.
you need to see this.
No, don't.
Right, now let's match it back by going downwards.
Tough.
The virus. The sterility. This formula. This is the key.
We could stop it all.
Yes.
Bloody perfect, mate.
All right, there we go.
We have to ask ourselves.
At the end of the clip, you'll want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in.
Yeah. What is this, broadcast producer simulator? Sure. Playing FMV games in 2022, yeah.
Better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words. As you've probably noticed, the broadcast screen, here, is about 2 seconds behind the master screen, here. When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up, like this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the bleep button, or the spacebar on your keyboard, for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just stay calm and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll literally be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you got to do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear. Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now. As you turn it up, you'll hear the advert getting louder. Good. You're set to start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember,
Oh my God.
button lights up, count 2 and hold it down.
Absolutely.
Remember to select screen 1 now that you've got the feed. Don't wait for the broadcast to go live. That's too late. You can use the number buttons on your keyboard, 1 to 4.
Running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse. 5, 4, 3.
This is a pretty good FMV
Welcome
game
back.
so far.
And I'm told we can now go live to Advanced Headquarters, where the two leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
Cut to the outside broadcast. Oh shit, he's pissed. Get ready to bleed.
Well, thank you all for coming, and, well, where do I start? What a day.
They said we couldn't do
They
it.
certainly did.
They used every dirty, low-down, lying, southern bastard trick they had against us. But you, the people,
Nice.
you saw right through their shite.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that. I've had a couple of celebratory pints. Makes me coarser than a granny's fanny.
Memorably put.
Nailed it.
But to be honest, who can blame people
There's a lot
for
going on now.
celebrating? Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a political party. A party is what you have when things are going well. When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. You need a team. A team that can change things. But today is day one of a new future. A better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks.
Again, colourfully put, but...
We're doing it, we're doing it.
Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act.
What happens if I...
I don't know this. Probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated communities.
Tomorrow, we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this
On the
country.
speaker, mate.
No more hiding wealth
Yeah.
offshore, no more trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So, all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide.
Perfect.
And earlier today, we revoked your passports. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine. But first, you're going to pay up. You're going to pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team. To properly fund health and education. To raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have to raise billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret shite. So to you posh twats.
The people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private clubs. The people whose children you raise.
So they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you.
It
Nice.
ends today.
We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been. In the hands of the people who created it.
It ends today.
Yes, it ends today. And tomorrow, we'll start making it fair again. Just like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents, I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time.
No, you totally missed that.
Oh, I missed one.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from the leaders of Advance. And our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully, we got that bleeped out for you in time. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. So, as the country braces itself for new government, that's all from us this evening at the National Nightly News. We'll be back tomorrow with full coverage of the first day under Advance. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
Right, looks like you've got it now. Thanks for all the help, mate. I've got to go. Ferry's about to leave. Probably won't be coming back. Job's yours, mate. Good luck.
Oh my god.
Boring
They're
politics.
just giving me it.
Is this some weird fever dream? Am I dying now or something?
You should be so lucky. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Not coming for a drink?
Nope, got a date.
Lucky you. Try not to get murdered.
When the programme's finished, you'll get a broadcast report. It's 3 pages. This first page bonuses, and they keep the boss happy. If you want to know more about how it went, select more info. If not, select continue to move to the next page. Right, this is an optional section for when you really want to understand what happened during the show. You got a graph there showing you what the audience did. They're a fickle fucking bunch. And of course, you can really drill into the details if you want to get better at making TV. I never came here, never once.
Poor edit. I'm sorry, man.
Right, this is the important page. It tells you how much you're going to get paid and how much wealth you have overall. That bollocks at the bottom shows you the financial
Great
status
F.
of our main
Oh.
advertisers. But you don't own any fucking shares.
Broke ass poor.
For God's sake, so why would you care? This is the last page and it tells you the state of the world, tells you how well the government's doing, and down the bottom there, this one's important, tells you what Channel 1 currently thinks of you. In other words, what the boss thinks. Alright mate, welcome to the archive. This is where you can have a quick look back at what you've done and how it looked to the public. There's 3 sections: broadcast, rushes and adverts. Let's start with broadcast. Click on it now. Over on the left, that's all the broadcasts that you've done. Click on any one of them and hit load tape. Once it's finished loading, you can use the rewind and the fast forward at the bottom there to help you get to the bit you want to see.
In a few moments, we'll be going live to tonight's national nightly news. But before...
Happen. Hopeful or hostile? Controversy as global mega corporation Remington's Fist buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the flowered market.
Right, click on rushes and let's have a look at those. Right, this is the rushes route. It's pretty simple. The 4 screens you can see, they're going to show you the 4 signals you got from the studio during the actual broadcast. Difference is you can mute any combination of them, so you can have a listen to the stuff you weren't allowed to show. Select the broadcast and give it a go, and when you're done listening to the backstage secrets, hit back.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know seafood makes me go out in pustules.
Yeah, I thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. It's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist. Going in 5, 4.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight. Moving. Seriously, that big blonder clutch on election night?
Yeah, Megan's pretty pissed off too.
I'm not surprised. The bloke wouldn't know democracy if he cut his coordinates.
Yeah, but he's hot though.
I suppose so. When you're oxygen too.
10 seconds, everybody. Your fragility is leaking. Going in 5.
Okay. Makes sense. Cool. Oh, we don't care. Alright. Continue in a second here. Hi, Super Weird Plush. I'm going to clean up my bowl from ice cream and then we'll continue the game. He was eating ice cream during the live broadcast. What else would you expect? Come on. How else are you supposed to get through the news? Day 3. Arrive home to find post on the mat, most being nothing more than the usual junk mail. One letter, however, catches your eye. The team wants to know you. Alright. It's a form from the new advanced government asking for information on all citizens. The first page is filled in already. Your name, Alex Winston. Your spouse, Sam Winston. Children, Charles Winston and Susie Winston. Well, you muse, at least they got the basics right. The rest of the questions are left for you to complete. They appear to be mandatory. Upon starting a new job, you would share new coworkers, be productive. Yeah. A colleague in a different department has confided in you that they've been taking home confidential information. Now, a file of minor importance has gone missing. You would help your colleague cover up the violation. Ooh, recommend that your colleague reports it. Promise your colleague that you won't tell anyone. Ooh. Entire department was fired today for consistent underperformance. Your boss has put in new place new targets that are significantly higher than the previous ones. You would stay late to ensure you hit the first deadline. Leave. You work on time, I guess. The annual company barbecue and you and your family have been invited. You are looking forward to enjoying a nice day out with friends and family, or washing your hair that day. Go if you're free, but wouldn't mind missing it. And practicing with your coworkers and think you'll win the talent contest this year. Ooh. I'm washing my hair. You had a long, successful career and are now about to retire. In your speech, you list your achievements and all the good memories you have working there. Give an honest review of the pros and cons of the company. Focus on issues and challenges you faced while working there. Refuse to attend. Yeah. For a time, you like to relax alone, doing things like listening to music or making models. Attend political rallies and stand up for what you believe in. Encourage and support your children with their hobbies. Playing your local sports team. I'm just answering randomly at this point. Your ideal holiday getaway would be surrounded by natural beauty, gain away from the strain of the daily grind, exploring somewhere unfamiliar and discovering new experiences and challenges. Structured day out at a theme park, bursting with thrills and attractions for you and your family. Romantic getaway with your partner to a tropical island paradise. It is important that the government keeps people. I can only choose one of these. Free, I guess. Thank you for your cooperation. Okay. That totally won't have choices that we regret, right? It's late. Sam and the kids have gone to bed. You're just drying up a favorite coffee cup, a worn-out souvenir of your first trip together. Print's faded, but the goofy face still makes you smile. A knock at the window brings you back to reality. There in the garden, clutching a gaudy neon green suitcase, is Chris, Sam's sibling. As soon as you let them in, they sit at the kitchen table, visibly stressed. Chris takes a deep breath. So sorry for bursting in so late, Alex. Chris stammers, but I need a favor, and you're the only one I can ask. Problem, what's going on? Are you okay? Should I go get Sam? No need to worry, Sam. It's you I came to see. I just need 2 minutes. You've heard about the Assets and Wealth Act? Daily working news, Chris. Total bullshit. They're taking whatever they want and distributing it as they see fit. No government should have that kind of power. I can't believe they're actually getting away with it. Madness, which is why I need your help. Why do I get the feeling I won't like this? Chris's eyes seem to be resting comfortably on the floor tiles. I know it's a lot to ask, but I need to borrow your passport. Passport? What for? Taken mine in half the bloody countries, but people always say you and I look similar, so Chris is pacing now. I need to leave before it's too late. Once I'm out, me and my money will be safe, but I need to go now before they freeze my accounts. Please, Alex, I wouldn't ask if I had any other choice. In the safe, let me go get in, you can take it. You go get. You climb the stairs to your bedroom, careful not to wake Sam, who is cocooned in the duvet as usual. You open the wardrobe, unlock the safe, and retrieve the passport. Sleepy voice breaks the silence. Alex, what's going on? Nothing. Don't worry about it. Go back to sleep. Chris is downstairs. They're leaving the country. They need my passport. Be honest. It's Bolt upright now, all thoughts of sleep gone. What? They're leaving the country? Are things really that bad? Apparently, but they'll be fine if they can leave. Chris can take my passport and get out. Yeah. Storyline Sam's forehead seemed direct. Think you have to look out for family. If I know my little Chrissy, it's probably all one big overreaction. Exactly. Let me just take this downstairs and I'll be up a bit. Yep, we'll do that. Close the safe and head back downstairs to find Chris at the table fidgeting. They jump up as soon as you re-enter the kitchen. So, have you got it? Good luck! Alright, for first time, Chris smiles. It's infectious. Thanks, I really appreciate this. I'll get back in touch once I'm safely out of the country. Chris takes the passport and, breathing a sigh of relief, grabs the neon fluorescent suitcase and heads out into the night. Head to bed, hoping you can pry some of the duvet away from Sam without waking them. Alright. Alright. We're totally not going to regret those choices. Uh-oh.
Alright, mate, it's Dave. Oh, Christ, it's noisy in here, Jesus. Right, hang on, let me just get out some flags, darling. Yeah, I'll take that one with me. Cheers. Right, that's better. Let's get set up and get on with it, eh, so I can get back to my guests. First of all, let's get the power on. You need to get at least the bottom 4 plugs on. Right, let's load up the adverts. You know, load the tapes under the desk. Look down. You might want to have a bit of a think about it. Your decisions have consequences, don't they?
Oh, sure.
Right, you can see they finally got the old headline system up and working again, and the vision mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. These 2 buttons at the bottom of the vision mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them, and they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen here. It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Provided you make a decision in that time, you're fine. And you can change your mind as much as you want until the clock reaches 0. But if you don't make any decision, you'll be fired before you even get to make another choice.
Ooh.
I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts, choose carefully. And we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
Alright then.
Says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon. 10 seconds, everybody.
Not the best source of consumer advice, then.
Don't blame me when it explodes. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future might hold with a leading economist and radical free thinker. With the Assets and Wealth Act on the brink of raising living standards for the vast majority of the country, I'll be asking my guests if we're on the way to a new future. Out with the old, Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington's appointment is a risk for the giant mega corporation. Sophia, as our regular viewers will be aware, has always been a wild child and has been romantically linked to several movie stars and sports personalities. In her first press conference,
Clown juice, yup.
Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehugs. Sophia promises it'll be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety. Making a splash. Intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborg and Horgensford have today set off to explore Dante's taint. The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, but thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flower technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. Many were surprised that the two scientists, who've shared a fractious rivalry for many years, decided to undertake this expedition in each other's company. However, the two have released a joint statement in which they opine geniuses don't have to like each other to achieve remarkable results. Playing the field, rumours abound as sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves is snapped leaving Bush, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. And judging from the angle and velocity of that spray, it looks like Johnny may have been celebrating a little bit too much. I certainly wouldn't want to be his dry cleaner. And grievous bodily charm. With Advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective. With more and more powers passing to the police and less oversight, are we using an Advance-shaped sledgehammer to crack a nut? All that, a mega move for the group of young actors already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Good.
In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're
Very
talking
good.
about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan?
It's all in my book. Alan James is right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd, ignorant, sterile, and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is...
Shamelessly self-promoting? Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most disruptive threat that the world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't
And this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking...
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, we'll be laughing then.
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, Advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people. Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research and the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Frankenscience and Opie-arts. Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Alan?
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals. They're pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong, I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
Oh, of course. Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order before Megan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by them then?
Shut the fuck up, Alan. I've never heard so much shit in my life.
Well, we'll see who's full of shit, won't we?
Alan, I can explain it to you, but unfortunately I can't understand it for you.
Well, I don't know what she meant by that.
How's it going? Actually, fuck it, I don't care. I hate the fucking news. Oh, bloody hell, I love this tune, though. All right, mate, see you later. Bye.
I've said a bit of word, and that's all I can
Right.
do.
Alex Jones? Oh no.
If that sticks, I'll just...
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In our second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try.
This is taking a lot of my attention.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Well, we can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem. We need more support from ministers. What are you doing? We need change at a structural level,
I'm
Jeremy.
leaving, Greg.
Not a good
Oh.
time, darling.
It never is it? I'll be at my mother's.
Just hang on. Oh, the problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No. Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry
servants.
to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my
Oh,
husband
this
I need
game is a lot of gameplay right now.
Totally understand. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. Chief Constable Bob Peel, a man with a very different perspective on our nation's crime. Do you think there's a problem with the system, Bob?
I'm sure we all do, Jeremy. I'm sure we all long for a return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night, looking in through windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without the risk of being terrorised by some thug with a knife. Or kosh.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly. It's all in the Bible. Look, Leviticus clearly states that... Oh, bugger, hang on a moment. Jeremy, your bloody gimps escaped. Delia? Delia, could
Oh,
you
no.
give me a little help, please, dear? As I was saying, Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
And just to be clear, you think it's the immigrants who are responsible for the moral decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back in
My
your box,
God.
Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use a little help with this.
Oh, sorry, darling. I was spaying the badgers.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson. Clive, could you put him back in the box?
Oh, Clive!
God.
Whose responsibility is it to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people of
Darling,
this...
where's the padlock?
Oh, hold on just a moment.
Oh, Clive, this simply won't do. Naughty, naughty, naughty.
What is he wearing?
I am not having this again.
Mummy said get back in your boxes. No! Naughty, you beast cut.
As I was saying, Jeremy, moral decay. Crime is the responsibility of the criminal.
Closet man. Yeah.
Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A-, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes 3 of her pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there, really locking down the police's position on morality for us. And finally tonight, hopefully uninterrupted, it's time to get to the heart of the matter. Tony Dawson has recently been released from prison after serving 3 years for aggravated assault, burglary, and menacing a SWAT. He's agreed to talk to us today, which is also, I believe, his birthday. Many happy returns, Tony.
Cheers, Jez.
It is his birthday.
Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Tit wank, Tony. Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against institutionalization, as you can imagine. And obviously, tit wanks are quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Tit wank, Tony. Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party. Good bunch of lads.
Okay, well, we're trying to let you get back to that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Tit wank, Tony. I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez.
Sopen!
I think asking that is an oversimplification.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. Big Chris, Little Chris, and Vampire Chris.
This one's, yeah?
Yep.
One sec, love. Tit wank Tony's on the news. Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Jez. Just not set up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust.
Sopen!
Oh my God.
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this now?
You are joking. Chrissy Free Bollocks has only got Mr. Fancy, oh. Not now, fellas. I'm on the news.
It seems like we've caught you at a bad time.
The little boy?
Oh, I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here. Jesus.
Yes, we seem to be losing the signal here, Tony.
Fucking way, let's believe that.
My God.
Well, we're just trying to get that signal back. I think we... Yes? Tony? Tony, I mean, we're literally away for 2 seconds. How has this happened, Tony? Can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost our train of thought there a little. Hopefully you, the viewer at home, are basically in a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues around...
Hey!
Lucky young thespians. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back, everybody. That went well.
Piss off.
Smooth, incisive journalism.
I ain't got long and I'm quite drunk. It's been a great night. In this next section, there's a bit of music. If you edit in time with the music, you can see the result on the vision mixer, and the public will love that. Don't worry if you don't know, you won't get punished for it or nothing. Just try and stay in the groove. Also, one last tip: when the music starts, turn down the broadcast volume. Right, enjoy the music, Vic. God, I love music. God, I'm so pissed. I think I might go and throw up in a bin.
I'm sure he's on his way. Come on, it's welcome back. How hard can it be?
This is on you. 10 seconds, everybody. We're going to open on Megan. Camera 2. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome's Black. I'm
Go.
Megan Wolf, and on tonight's Culture Spot,
Games,
I'll be
yeah.
chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Scritchford Sixth Form College who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship,
on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled.
We are, Megan. We're overwhelmed, to be honest.
And I believe you two are sisters, is that right?
Yes, Charlotte's my oldest. I'm the older, more popular one. Only joking.
Harriet and Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea.
So, Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey, let's actually do something.
So I went to look for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off due to budget cuts. Fortunately, I directed a pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes, as it were.
Oh, right, yes, but you're the maths teacher, aren't you?
Yes, that's me, Jeff Algebra, maths teacher.
Maths is really important.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
As is theatre. It's one of the oldest art forms in history. Aristotle. I just think that when we travel around all these problem schools and the poor kids see us, they say, hey, I really want to be like those attractive kids. And that's a very beautiful and powerful thing. We touch our audiences and they touch us right back.
I suppose with a surname
My
like
God.
Algebra, there was really only one choice of career for me. My wife, Angela, and I, we often laugh about it.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
We just want to bring a bit of song and joy into people's lives.
And teach people about the difficult issues. The issues in the play are what really matter.
And I think you're going to be showing us an extract from this play, aren't you?
That's right. To put into context, I play a young first year who's having some troubles at school.
Her character doesn't actually have a name, yeah, because in a way she's like all of us.
It's like a metaphor. Maybe she's you at home, or like, maybe she's you, Megan.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Put it in, coach.
Yes, thanks, Steve.
Right, well, I'm going to have a little chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it. That's it, that way. So, Jeff, when did you first hear about the grant?
2 days ago. A letter from Advance arrived at the school. Now, the headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
Wow, how did you react?
I also threw it in the bin. But then, Harry and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be voting from now on.
Do you know what? It's funny, because Angela and I don't usually vote. We're not very political. I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic mainly, but we did use
Oh my
to watch
God.
that Peter Clement's DIY show back in the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go at this old democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we bally well are.
Good stuff.
Fucking brilliant!
So, let's have a look at a short section of Hey, Friendship.
Dear Diary, I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears. Tears. Another day of fears. But still I walk the corridors alone. Alone. Dreading what might be around every corner.
What's around the corner? What's around the corner? What's around the corner?
Oh, hi Gary. Oh heavens no! It's Gary the Fist!
Gary the Fist! Going somewhere, little first year?
Great. I've been looking for some poor victim to bully all morning. But will this make me feel better about my violent father?
Violent father.
Excuse me, I'm late for maths. It's my favourite subject. And so important.
Maths is for losers.
What?
Maths is for losers.
My arm's stuck, coach.
Keep going, for fuck's sake!
Right, maths is for losers. Now, give me your lunch money.
Double lunch for me today, but why am I only truly happy when I'm eating?
Dad.
Not today, Gary the Fist.
What do you mean not today? Who are you? Oh, my arm's free, coach.
Brilliant, keep going!
Right, who are you to stand up to me? I'm Gary the Fist, and you're just a sad little girl with two gay dads who's all alone.
Oh my God.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist. These are my two new friends. Vanessa is captain of the netball team. Yeah. And Blake owns a motorbike.
Yeah.
But But I can't fight all three of you, and I don't have any friends of my own.
All right.
Take a look at me. Take a little look at my face. I could be you. She could be you. And you could be me.
Or you could be free.
Life can be peachy keen if you work as a team.
It's my choice to be mean. So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
What the fuck is even going on?
Listen up, I won't take no crap. Who said middle class girls can't rap? I ain't afraid of your cruel lads. I'm a mother loving rebel, but I still love maths.
Hey, kids, I'm Gary the Fist. People think that folks like me probably shouldn't exist, but that's just prejudice, and I'd do better if you knew the way that I became Gary the Fist. I grew up on a council estate. The park was hip, but the flats weren't great. My dad used to come home drunk and late, and he'd hit my mum if for dinner he had to wait. Oh, where's my dinner?
It's not ready.
Where's my dinner, woman?
Go.
Don't make me ask you again.
Hitting women is wrong.
I guess life's pretty hard on a council estate. 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 It's so damn hard on a council estate.
Life can be peachy keen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you work as a team.
Just work as a team.
It's your choice to be me.
It's my choice.
So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Friendship!
Yes!
What the fuck?
Well, thankfully that's all we have time for tonight on the National Nightly News. Join us tomorrow night for all the headlines
What the
from
fuck?
across the country. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out.
Oh, that was brilliant!
What the literal fuck was that?
I believe that was art.
I believe I've got a 14-inch cock, but it doesn't make it so.
I have a similar belief about an adequate paycheck.
Oh, someone please get these twats out of my studio.
God damn. I'm so confused too, Gennaro. Got better. Okay. Okay. Still loves me.
Well, where is he? In his dressing room, probably banging his head against the wall. Look, it's all right, I've got this. I'm sure he's on his way. Come on, it's welcome back. How hard can it be? This is on you.
10 seconds, everybody.
We're going to open on Megan, camera 2. Going in 5, 4, 3.
See the Alan James.
All that, and Megan Wolf with a group of young actors already experiencing
Sing quickly, please.
We actually had to make the book indestructible because people tried to set it on fire too much. It's like
Thanks for
still
coming
having
on,
bonfires.
Jeremy. Thanks
in
for
town
having me.
centres, But, Alan James, no doubt you've read my stuff.
I try not to, if I'm honest.
Behave.
You're not the boss of
I
me.
literally am. 10 seconds, everybody. We're going in 5, 4, 3, 2.
In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in
They
office
literally just
and what
take
the
his
new
book
future
back.
holds.
Okay. That's pretty funny. Continue, let's go. And follow. Get to the theater slightly. They're waiting. Quietly as you join hands and take your... They could get used to it. Tickets arrived on your door. Thank you from passport back soon enough. Show isn't your usual take. Pretentious opera and a language back the Chris either. Still the complimentary drink. Show finally ends. How many bows do these people need? You stand in line to get your coats, and Sam has you increases with a hilarious impression of the conductor, arm flailing wildly. The couple in front of you are talking about the relocation of people who couldn't pay their new tax bills. Sounds awful. Sam smiles gratefully at you as both of you think of safe and sound. When you get home, you're still laughing as Sam heads upstairs to shower before. You notice your 14-year-old son isn't home, and there's a note on the kitchen table in his almost illegible scrawl. It says he's at his friend's house. Night, so you should march him home. Trust Charlie, he'll be home soon. One night, he's got to start taking responsibility for his own decisions sometime. The worst that could happen. Exactly. Dead. A call from school. Damn. Family answering machine crackles into life. Well, who could be calling you while you and your spouse were at work? Good afternoon. This is a message for the Winston family. It's Miss Smith calling regarding your son, Charles. Thinny old woman goes on. Sure, there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for it, but he wasn't in school today and we hadn't heard from you that he would be absent. I'd like to remind you we do require all absences to be authorized in advance or, in exceptional circumstances, for parents to bring first thing in the morning. Please see to it that it doesn't happen again. Thank you. Goodbye. Someone has some explaining to do. But apparently not anytime soon. Damn. A gentle reminder. Leafing through the pile of accumulated posts, each new bill pulls on your gut like a lead weight until a flash of blue makes you pause. Recognizing the Teal Advance logo on the envelope, tear it open. Dear Winston Red, this is your second reminder letter regarding the Assets and Wealth Redemption Scheme. Please submit your passports to your nearest government office as soon as possible in order to register for the scheme. You cannot receive your share of the national rebate without submitting these documents. I knew there would be consequences, but that doesn't make it any easier. Work as a team, and we are rewarded as forwards together, Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Chris is safe, that's all that matters, you hope. What about your son? What happened to your son just not showing up to school? A tight Christmas. Can't help but crack a smile as you look around the table. Noah is settled on the grass outside, the kids are pulling a cracker, while your elderly mother tries to keep her eyes open. You did always have a soft spot for Christmas. Staying at the head of the table now. Dad's place. Across from you is Chris's empty seat, probably on a tropical beach somewhere. You catch Sam's eye, whose breaks into a smile, thinking the same thing. Even without Chris, the food has had to be stretched a little thinner this year, but no one seems to know. Christmas really can be a wonderful time of year. Look around the room at your family. Christmas, Grandma, you stay silent, you make a toast. Make a toast. Stand and raise your glass. Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm glad we're all here. Well, most of us. Murmurs of cheers and much clinking of glasses. Your daughter, Susie, sees the opportunity to corner you. You know how you love me? You raise a questioning eyebrow. I'm not going to like this, am I? You joke. Oh, me and my friends are planning on going traveling this year. Susie begins innocent. Well, I was hoping you'd help me with the money. Oh, you laugh. I knew it. I'm a mind reader, you chuckle, as your 19-year-old daughter rolls her eyes. I wish you could say yes without worrying, but now that your mother's had to move in, things aren't quite as simple anymore. How much are we talking here? Only a few hundred, she mumbles as she pushes a tray of pea around her plate. It takes a great effort for you to not spit your mulled wine across the table onto your elderly mother. No, it's a lot, darling, Sam interjects, but trains are expensive. It's a great opportunity for her, and I did already say she could go. Make it work. What is money? Oh no. Susie's grin stretches from ear to ear. You mean it? That's so great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The mood soars as Sam puts a paper hat on your head, and Charlie takes pleasure in reading everyone's god-awful cracker jokes. God. The room is filled with voices and laughter. Looking around at your grinning family, your mother whispers, your father would be so pleased. You dab your eye with your nap. You feel very lucky. And now we have no home. Fuck Christmas, all my homies celebrate Kwanzaa. Damn. I thought this was a fucking TV show, so not fucking visual now. Well, you know. Long weekend. Why does the zip on this damn case never close? It's your anniversary. Every year, you and Sam go away for the weekend, usually camping. You're not made of money. You've been looking forward to it for ages. Finally gain some time alone where you can forget about the noise of life. No kids, no work, just a bit of romance and some peace and quiet. Zip finally gives up the battle, and you drag the bulging suitcase down the stairs. The answering machine is blinking on the hall table. Good evening, Alex. Roseman, calling to inform you that you will be required to work this weekend. Your heart sinks. Information has come to light concerning the rising tensions between our nation and foreign powers, and the National Nightly News team will be working around the clock to ensure we break the story first. Needless to say, I will expect your attendance tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. sharp. Have a pleasant evening, Alex. Doc turns to annoyance and then fury. What are you going to tell him? Sam comes downstairs, brimming with excitement. Kissing you, they grab the car keys from the dish and start to load your bags into the back. Ignore the message you need this weekend. Apologize profusely to your spouse, but you really should go into for the message. Message deleted. What was that? Comes a voice from behind you. Nothing important, you reply as you put on your coat, adrenaline coursing through your body. Grabbing Sam around the waist, you practically slam the front. Might as well enjoy your time off. You're going to pay for it on Monday. Uh-oh. Unwelcome. When you get to work Monday morning, you get some of your sour looks from your exhausted colleagues. A note sits waiting for you. The immaculate script is blank. I am very disappointed with that. It's you're broke and working a dead-end job that conveniently add a TV simulator of permissions. Selling the other kidney. Son Charlie hovers at your elbow as you read. Do you find yourself striving to achieve? Are you an active member of the team? Do you like reaping the benefits of cooperation? Join the advanced go-getters today. Forwards together. Sound like the youth club he told. Charlie grabs the flyer from you and thrusts the form into your hand. So I can walk there straight from school, and Ben's sister can drop us home after, so you won't have to do anything. Sign the permission slip for your advanced go-getters. You refuse to sign the form. Yeah, don't sign that shit. Sorry, mate. I just don't think it's the right place for you. Hand back the form gently. What? This is so unfair. Why? No, it seems that way, Charlie, but you'll understand soon enough. Profitable partnership. After a particularly long day at work, you come home to find the post sorted into piles that Sam has taken to doing recently. Most of it is the usual rubbish, but a letter with the increasingly familiar advanced logo and urgent respond immediately plastered on the front, and a correspondingly urgent red font grabs your attention. Let's to get it over with. Dear Winston residents, this letter is to inform you that the advanced government has taken another step forwards in our fight for equality by nationalizing the largest private corporations and redistributing their resources among the citizens. A great country. The Partnership Bonds program ensures that wealth created by the people is delivered to the people. Don't remember this being in the manifesto. But every household would become a partner in one of 3 carefully selected institutions, chosen by advance for consistent high performance and financial security. Please note, all returns are based on public opinion and cannot be guaranteed. Please select one of the following. Eye of the Beholder, Incorporated. Whether it's cosmetics, clothing, or couture, we see the beauty in all our customers. Neil's Deals Limited. It's always a steal from Crazy Neil. Pleasure Corp. Our business is your pleasure. From sport to travel or even just some you time. You can't say pleasure without leisure. Sure. Oh. From this form using the envelope provided, you will receive a report from your partnerships in 3 to 6 working months. Okay. I don't know what that actually just did, but whatever. Omen. Put your obligatory cup of coffee down on the desk. Working nights always messes with your body clock. As you sit, slightly dazzled by all the screens, you notice something has been left on top of your computer. The flyer with some sort of symbol. Bright orange lines in the shape of a fist. Vaguely familiar. Clearly someone is trying to tell you something. The Tempest. Oh boy.
Good evening, Alex. It's Bozeman here, your boss. While you're powering up and getting the adverts loaded, I thought I should just tell you that we've had one of those public information films from the government, and it's mandatory that you play it. You still have a free choice for the other 2, so read those tape labels carefully, but make sure you play the advance advert, preferably at the second break. Right, that's the lot. Have a great show. Total pimp. My God, that weather looks nasty.
Oh, how's it going with Steve?
Why are all men such pricks?
Yeah, well,
Apparently he has a complicated relationship with his friend.
No.
sorry, are you saying he chose his imaginary friend in the sky over you?
I don't know why I talk to you.
You're probably just a really different date.
10 seconds, everybody. Like I said.
We're not playing the advanced stuff.
Personality accidentally slip out.
Pricks. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Dawson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. Our main stories tonight.
Uncooperative. A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight on thousands of buildings throughout the capital.
Tonight, in an exclusive live interview with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, I'll be asking what this mysterious symbol might mean.
After 3 months of record-breaking approval ratings, could this be the daring first move of a silent resistance movement? And what would that mean as we go into the future?
A house divided, trapped in Dante's taint for more than a month now. Embittered doctors Ingrid Sforsborg and Horgensvoord and David Wong announced today that they're considering 2 possible options to end the growing tensions.
Since splitting into 2 opposing camps on day 4 of the expedition, relationships between the factions and their leaders have only worsened.
Dr. Wong's team have successfully prototyped what they're calling shanks and deterrents, while Drs. Forsborg and Horgensvoord claims to have fashioned a deadly toxin for the tips of her group's spears. I certainly wouldn't want to knock over their test tubes, Jeremy.
Bearing their opinions, the formerly rich are fighting back with a naked protest.
Our very own Robin Short was on hand earlier today when this new protest group first presented themselves.
It might seem amusing to us, but clearly this formerly overprivileged section of our society is not adjusting well to the new future. It's often too easy to forget that not every citizen is thriving under advance.
Fallen angel, notorious addict Johnny Hansleeve seems to have reached a new low in his battle with booze, as this recent picture reveals.
Johnny's star certainly lacks its former glow these days, with public concern over his mental and physical health growing at an alarming rate.
Let's hope that the team at the Gentle Touches Rehabilitation Centre can help Johnny get back to his former glory. Johnny's family have asked for privacy during this difficult time. We'll have reporters at the clinic around the clock, so you don't miss a thing.
Is this once celebrated role model about to become the bad boy of sports?
And radical ideas. In an attempt to put the Mr. Snugglehugs disaster behind them, Rimington's Fist CEO Sophia Rimington today announced a surprising new project that already has the markets raising an eyebrow.
Known for taking risks and bold strategies, could the adventurous CEO be leading the business giant down a dark alley, or taking it to a new level of success?
We understand the Mobile Orientation Operational Borrowing Service will be a new international travel system based around the construction of a major tunnel through the centre of the Earth.
This sounds
Sophia
dangerous.
Rimington claims it will make travelling from one side of the world to the other the matter of an afternoon. Geologists are concerned about the implications of digging a hole through the planet, while flat earthers claim it should be quite easy.
Oh my god.
Exclusive prime ministerial interview coming up later.
And our very own Patrick Bannon coming to you live from the first annual Sports Board final.
You won't want to miss a second of tonight's National Nightly News.
Come on. Work with me.
First tonight, after the Christmas horror caused by Mr. Snugglehugs, we have an exclusive interview with one of the victims.
Poor 7-year-old Timmy Tadlock, like so many of those affected by the Christmas bloodbath, has spent the last 3 months undergoing a series of reconstructive facial surgeries.
Last week, joyfully, he spoke for the first time since the tragedy. Tonight, he talks to us.
Before we go to the interview, however, this station would like to issue a full and frank apology for any part we may have played in the tragedy. We should never have advertised Mr. Snugglehugs. Without our publicity, the sheer scale of this tragedy, and now upwards of 8,000 casualties, might have been averted.
Oh my god. The toy caused 8,000 casualties? What the fuck?
Now it's over to Robin Short at the Tadlock family home. Robin?
Thank you, Megan. I'm here with Mr. and Mrs. Tadlock and their 7-year-old son, Timothy. Thanks for spending time with us today.
Yes, well, you're bloody lucky we're spending any time with you at all, after what you lot did. Irresponsible. I mean, whose idea was this anyway?
It's all right. Wasn't your fault. As you can see, Megan, there's still a few open wounds here. I'll tread carefully. I'm going to speak to Timmy now. Hello, Timmy. Can you see me?
Mummy, who's that lady?
It's the lady from television, Timothy. She's going to ask you a few questions.
And you be careful now, it upsets him to remember.
Don't worry, Mr. Tadlock. I wasn't the youngest ever editor of the Swinstead Middle School Inquirer for no reason. So, Timmy, can you tell us what happened to you? You had just unwrapped Mr. Snugglehugs, hadn't you? Was he under the tree?
Yes, I could smell him already. He smelled like love.
Ah, yes, that'll be the fur, scented with hoof.
I was so excited. I ran up to my room and gave him a big hug. He was so soft and warm, like our cat, before he got in the way of Daddy's Porsche.
Bloody cat had a death wish.
And what did Mr. Snugglehugs say to you?
He blinked his real action eyes and said, "You're my very best friend." But I sure wish Mrs. Snugglehugs was here, and she can't be for just $89.99. And then it's the General Air 41.
Earth is a...
And is that when he burst into flames?
Look careful.
And then he exploded.
Oh, look, I've asked you nicely.
And am I right in saying that one of his real action eyes is now permanently embedded in your cheek?
Yes. When I took him in at night, it glows through bandages. I know it's under there, staring at me.
Yeah, some of the other children have started calling him Timmy Three Eyes. And with his glasses, that's 5.
It's too many eyes, Robin.
And what's the last thing you remember before the darkness overtook you?
He looked at me with his one eye and laughed. Laughed as he burned.
It's sounds very traumatic. Do you have nightmares?
All right, that's quite enough of you two coming in here with your camera trying to make a buck out of our suffering. I won't have it.
Mr. Tadlock, just a couple more questions. Timmy, do you think you will ever be what we can call
No, you've had your
normal
questions,
again?
and now look. Oh, you've made him cry with all three of his eyes.
Calm down, you're
I will.
Do you
Oh my god, all three of his eyes.
I
No.
will really love you again?
Right, that's it. Enough. Come on, Lee. Come on.
Mr. Tadlock.
No, your poster, your favourite poster. Timmy, are you okay?
Oh my god.
Have it, Megan. Just one of the many victims of an indescribable tragedy that has shaken our nation.
I'm bleeding, am I not?
Thank you, Robin, Harry, and stuff.
And many questions to be answered by Sophia Remington in the coming days and months, I'd wager. How will she turn this crisis around?
So, Jeremy, what are the warning signs a consumer should look out for when they're spotting a dangerous toy?
Well, Megan, experts advise to always check for the new advance mark, which guarantee a level of safety and quality.
Yeah, can we just get a close-up on camera 3 here? So if we take a look at this National Nightly News mug, you should see the mark just on the base of it there.
In the wake of the scandal, the government were praised for their swift response in bringing in this set of stringent checks and new products.
It certainly is good to know that someone's watching out for our families. When we come back, our very own Patrick Bannon will be live from the Sports Board Finals. Stick around, you won't want to miss it.
We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back.
Oh, sorry, I'm bursting.
She's very good.
Who?
Megan.
Yes, she is.
Watch your back, Jeremy. The women are coming.
I'm more worried about this water dripping onto my head.
Alex, Boson, we're getting reports in that naked protesters might try and spoil the sports board final by waving their fleshy bits about. Try and make sure you don't broadcast it. It's 6 p.m. for God's sake. No one wants to see fannies on the news. Bozeman out.
Okay. Chaos, absolute chaos, absolutely.
From your pores to give you the crisp, brittle skin you've come to expect.
That's what it says.
Yes, I understand that, but I always say welcome back.
I think we should just keep it as it is.
Well, of course you do. I've got one hack line.
What's that supposed to mean? I didn't write it, Jeremy.
That's all right, fine. Jenny, there's something wrong with the auto cue.
10 seconds.
Oh, I just felt a drip again. Have they not fixed this?
Want to see us fry? It's good for the ratings.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolfe. Coming up later, we'll be speaking to the Prime Ministers about their exciting new healthcare facilities, transition centres.
Patrick, wasting away in the chair. But you know, while I'm covering this bullshit, I mean, a real waste of my talent. You know, I could put a tie on, I could have put a strap in, I could put in the chair myself, but no, I'm not supporting the same old crap. That's right, Megan, you joined me last year for the first annual Sports Board Championship. It's been a hotly contested competition so far. I think it's fair to say these two have been dancing around each other all season. First up, we have Eddie Striker. She's the
Okay,
most
we're good.
experienced of our two players today.
You miss
Striker's
real life.
got a accuracy of 7, a danger rating of K, and a 12-month driving ban. Striker's known for her signature move, the Orangi hamster. And facing her tonight, hoping to prove himself with a career record of 12 outs, 14 finishes, and a divorce pending, it's Mr. Wingspan himself, Tommy, the Fingernail Harris. Just waiting on the ref now. The slapping ceremony is taking part.
Oh my god.
And, Striker, of course, first to start as she won the trivia round earlier on by some margin. Harris, perhaps the brawn and not the brain. Stupid. Eddie Striker. Nice start there from Striker. She's determined not to let the nerves show. Not after last time. On to Mr. Harris now. Tommy. Using his arm to pick up the ball. Not a bad shot there from Harris. Back to Striker for shots number 3. All right. She's gone to sort of throwing under her legs. Not bad if you ask me.
What the fuck is this?
Bit of business with the ref, but it
What
got
is
sorted
this?
out. Back to Harris now. A ball in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. Football. Move back. I'd say that's fair. but what do I know? Oh no, and Harris is not going to be happy with that. So really not a good start there for Tommy Harris in round one. We can only hope that round two treats him a bit better. But first, of course, after the arguing with the ref section, it's time to change ends. Now we have the ceremonial changing of the ends. And of course, now they go back to the starting positions, as that makes sense. Striker giving it large.
Second round, Double, Harris.
Winter round two now with Harris. Okay, we seem to have some sort of streaker on the pitch. Apologise if we broadcast any of that stuff. She appears to have slogans across her breasts and arse. Try and ignore all of that. Security, I'm sure we're going to take them out as soon as possible. Apologise if we broadcast any of that. As I said, we're going to get the situation resolved as soon as possible.
Oh no.
They're trying to carry on play, but it's proving a bit difficult, and I'm struggling to follow. Because it's quite an eyesore, and women's body, yeah. All right, great. Okay, so back into round two now, and Harry's absolutely determined to close that massive gap.
I think we're good.
Eddie Striker. No, it's just some of the tightest play I've seen ever. Harris. And was that the fitted thumb screw? We haven't seen that since the heats. What a brilliant move. Back to Striker. And we know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. That is, of course, the ground sound. Excellent bit of play here on both sides of the bucket. I don't know about you at home, but I'm finding the technical mastering display here absolutely blooming jaw-dropping. The ref has spotted something in Harris's neck or head. And Harris is having an absolute shocker. What a miserable start there for Tommy Harris. But he is a late bloomer, of course.
What the fuck just happened?
The game of 2 halves, 4 rounds and 7 subgenres. But now, of course, it's time for the half-time show. Sponsored by Remington Smith.
What the fuck just happened? Sports? I don't know.
Must be some music here to start.
Best game of the century, I suppose.
Okay, another posh protester loose on the court here. We can only apologise for that. We'll do our best to shield you from having to look directly at it. Is running around here with his genitals on display for all to see. And ruining what was shaping up to be quite the dance interlude there. Now he's thrusting himself in Harris's face. Security's on it. And the bucket has been knocked over! I cannot stand it when the bucket gets knocked over. Hopefully he'll get taken out now. Genitals flying around for all to see. Really, if you ask me, not Sunday morning television. And out of there, hopefully taken away, never to be seen again.
Final poses. Ball boy cannot be in the final pose.
And a lovely finish there on both sides of the bucket. I wouldn't like to call that one. And as we head into round 3, I'd love to know what's going on in these 2 players' heads. But unfortunately, because of science, we can't.
Thank you.
Not bad.
You two go first.
So that ball boy's giving me the eye all the devil day. I don't know what's going on there.
I don't know what's going on with this one anymore.
She looks a bit flustered, I think, after all that swinging around. Back to Harris here. God, what I wouldn't give to be that ball. Am I right, ladies? Tommy Harris. And it dribbled down his arm, which is actually a really good move, because, of course, if it dribbles down his arm and goes on the floor, it's not going in the bucket. Back to Striker. And Striker's gone for the animal bonus there, but of course, perhaps... And yes, Harris has counted with a tiny bell. That is wonderful play. Of course, we've seen that before. Look at her face. She is absolutely gutted. What a mud. That could have been the clincher. What a massive shame.
What the fuck?
Possession now.
Harris to serve now. Harris, of course, undefeated by Kestrel in his last 4 battles. So, here we go. Tommy Harris. That's all right. Not bad there. He threw it quite far away from him, which is quite a good idea. Very clever there. Perhaps a little contact, a caution from the referee, who's being, if you ask me, a little bit harsh. Ellie Striker. And she's let the nerves get to her. What the hell was that? You hate to see it, don't you? You cannot believe it. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, like, I mean, this is a mess now. I don't know what I can be doing about this. I mean,
What the fuck?
Sort of breasts and genitals for all to see. I mean, there's only so much I can do. They're sort of everywhere, aren't they? All right, I'll try and carry on. The players are trying to carry on, but of course it's difficult because these protesters, hopefully we can get them taken off soon so we can carry on with the match. What's going on here? Yes,
We want our money.
Yes, very good. Take them away.
What the fuck?
Wasters, absolute wasters. Oh, jog on! It's an absolute bloody... Okay, and now we're going to go into the final round. And of course, as it's a Tuesday, the final round is a mime round.
Fuck.
Who could believe it? Nice imaginary shot there from Harris. It really could go anywhere at this point. Really high-level play here from two absolute juggernauts of the sport. The bucket getting moved back to its proper place. About time, if you ask me. She's juggling it around from her hands. And she's put it in her mouth like as if it was an egg. And now she's and she spat it out. She did the egg spit. So a wonderful move there, quite late on.
Illegal spit.
From Striker.
What the fuck?
She's in it to win it.
Harris's ball.
On it, like a car bonnet. Tommy Harris here, having a bit of beef. And he's peeling it as if it were a banana, which is an interesting move. Not sure if he hasn't had his potassium or what's going on today with him. And he's throwing it, and the banana was the ball! What a fantastic move there from Harris. Unfortunately, that is the end. What a pathetic, there we go, Jeremy, that is over. How can he look his 8-year-old son in the face tonight? What a lump. We just have to wait for the referee now to announce it to make sure it is all official.
Contestants in, please. And the winner of the first annual Sports Board Championship is...
Again, a win for everyone, including me as my 15th win in the Sports Board Championship. I'm going to be celebrating tonight with my wife and children. Another wonderful victory for me. Here come the on-site security to collect their medals, their 6th and 7th respectively. And thanks again for watching the Sports Board Championship. What more is there to say?
Oh shit.
Looking forward to celebrating tonight. And all I always have to say, Jeremy, is back to you in the studio.
Patrick Ballinder had an extraordinary final.
Historic sports.
What just happened
I
there?
didn't know you were a fan.
Yeah, I can wrench a doubler with the best.
Like Pop's never seen the sport before. Imagine. Oh my god, guys.
When we come back, I'll be talking live with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, who apparently have a big announcement you wouldn't want to miss.
That's coming up after these messages.
1 minute back.
Fucking microphone struck me.
What?
Fucking microphone just struck me. Where's that sound guy?
Everything okay?
Oh, the mics are just trying to kill us now, apparently.
You'll be fine. You're unshockable.
I'm immune to your cheap flattery.
I'm wearing you down.
Boozman again. Just heard from the chaps in maintenance that this storm is causing the odd power surge. Some of your controls might be a bit dangerous. Now I know you're tough and you can take the odd shock for the sake of a perfect news broadcast, but too many in quick succession can stop the old ticker. I'm sure you'll make the right decisions. Boozman out.
So sorry about all these buckets. We seem to have sprung a leak. Well, several, actually.
You're going to need a whole new lining up there. Triple C.
Well, Minister, it's so good to see you again.
Miss Wolfe, your star seems to be in the ascendant.
It's a great time to be alive.
Too bloody right. Peter Clement.
Megan Wolfe.
My, but that's a firm handshake you've got there.
She's tougher than she looks. Am I here?
Here, with Mr. Clement on your left.
Right you are, pet.
You'll
see, Dump.
I'm gonna go bathroom real quick. Do this.
seconds, everybody.
No, mine's 5. Have you had a little accident?
Cheeky cow.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I am delighted to be joined by Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Welcome to the National Nightly News, Prime Ministers.
Oh, please, it's just Julia and Peter.
We don't believe much in titles. It doesn't
Oh.
seem very advanced.
We're delighted to be here.
Well, firstly, I should ask how you feel about the graffiti that's been springing up across the capital. Should we be worried?
Oh, no, you definitely shouldn't be worried.
Well, not unless you've got a fatal paint allergy anyway.
But yes, it does seem that there are still some people we haven't been able to help.
You know, whinges mostly.
God.
Many advantages of the new future.
And you know, Megan, as my old mum used to say, there are some pissants who just don't know how to be happy.
We're working hard to reach these people, find out what they're angry about and how we can help. The door to my government is always open.
So much dripping on.
But we didn't come here to talk about what may yet turn out to be some alternative arts project.
Which we no doubt will have funded.
When we want to talk to the nation about something far more exciting.
Yes, your office briefed us that you have an announcement to make, but they were being surprisingly secretive about it.
Let me ask you a question, Megan.
Oh, okay, it's not usually how it works, but...
What scares you? I mean, really scares you?
It's death, Pet. She's talking about death.
We're all afraid of our deaths. It's part of being human.
Sorry, are you saying that Advance have cured death?
That'll be a vote winner. Yep, that was definitely a drop there.
But while we may not have cured death, we hope we found a way to make it much less scary.
And much less painful and much less expensive. Look, which is me close-up camera?
Oh,
there?
sorry, it's camera 4 right there.
When I was 13,
Ow.
my mum came and got me from school. He had to go to the hospital. My granddad, he'd collapsed that morning, so we'd all to say our goodbyes. And I went in to see him. We were all frail and pale. And I was scared because I'd only seen him the week before, and he'd been fit as fiddle. And he said to me, Peter, he said, it's the right time. I don't ever want to be a burden to the people I love.
Was that the last time you saw him?
Nope, 3 days later we were back home. He lived with us for 9 miserable years after that. He had to be fed with a rubber spoon. He had a commode, so he'd just take a shit right there in the lounge while we were watching football. He wouldn't even wait till half-time.
That sounds...
It was awful. It were awful for us, and this is the point. It were awful for him. He could see it was destroying me, man, watching him slowly fade away. And he would beg her to turn off his breathing equipment at night, but she couldn't, or she wouldn't. It were a crime, you see. And she didn't want to lose the children, as well as her old man.
No family should have to suffer like Peter's did. And now no family will have to. The health service is today opening the first of 300 new transition centres.
The transition centres will handle everything for your last days. The legal, financial, medical and emotional costs are all catered for and paid for by the government. So even the poorest citizen gets to pass on with dignity when they choose.
And that choice is important. This is a service only for people who choose it. For people who feel they've run their course and don't want to burden themselves or their families with a slow, long, humiliating decline. Are you okay?
I don't know, I think it fried my asshole.
Oh, we're still on the air, Peter.
Yes, sorry, my apologies. Oh.
Are you not worried that this
Oh my
new
God.
system might be open to abuse?
In what way?
Sorry, I've got sacked again. Can I get a little bit of help here, please?
That the older generation might feel somewhat...
Face, fucker! That one was massive. Right, no, this bastard's coming off.
Sorry, that the older generation might feel somewhat coerced.
Coerced into spending their final days eating gourmet food and drinking fine wine and luxury spas and gardens.
Look, I am perfectly capable of...
sandwich.
Go get yourself sorted out.
Right.
We're launching a government information film tonight. It should tell your viewers everything
My
they
bad.
need to know.
Fucking it up.
Move at a breathless pace. It's hard to believe you've yet to be in office a year.
Oh, Megan, we're only getting started.
And on that note, thank you both so much for being here. Jeremy.
Right, yes, that's all we have time for tonight. Thank yous go out to our guests. Congratulations to all the winners at the Sports Board Final. And we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. If you can, have a peaceful night.
And we're out. Good job, everybody.
Do you suffer?
So they just...
It seems so.
I don't suppose there's any way this could be a good thing.
It's my nephew, so we transitioned the moment I stopped the leak.
Ow. E. My god. Sign me up for those transition centers, baby. Oh my god. It's like Dr. Pay. What is money to selling a kidney? Oof. Unlucky. Oh, they're not loving me. Alright. That's where we're gonna save and quit for now. We're gonna play more for sure though, because this game is goofy as hell.
I'm Megan Wolf. And I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight.
But yeah, this is a new FMV game. And you should definitely check it out on Steam. It's pretty damn cool. I'm garbage at it. Yeah, I got an E. I'm sorry. I did worse than an F. So sorry. But until then, guys, go to bed.